Good morning, you sexy mother lovers. What's going on? Mix coming at you from New Jersey. NJ Morning Drive. What's going on? Anyway, so I don't like to get political, but this is my opinion. So I was watching the news yesterday about this whole debacle with Venezuela and Maduro and this, that, and the third, and that we, as a country, I'm not saying anyone, we as a country are getting involved in issues in another nations. And to be quite honest with you, I find that to be, a little bit disingenuous because these people in Venezuela have their own problems, they have their own issues, and we have our own. And so what I'm saying is, why is it that we need to get involved? We have a debacle right now. We have 800 federal employees right now without getting paid, right? And in the meantime, we're getting involved in the political affairs of another nation. I think that anyone that has a little bit of common sense would agree with me that, listen, let them deal with their problems. We need to deal with our problems. They are a sovereign nation, but for us to be basically getting involved into a political situation that does not affect us in this country directly, I think it's just bullshit, man. Like, what are we trying to do? Trying to steer blame away from the fact that we cannot keep our own house in order. That would be like me saying, you know what, I'm fighting with my wife every day. I cannot control my kids, but I'm gonna tell my neighbor, oh, you know what? You should be a better father. You should be a better husband. You should clean your house. Like, we have so much fucking shit going on here right now. Why is it that we're getting involved in all this shit? Like, we got too much in our plates. Let's think about the facts. The schools in the United States are falling apart. The educational system is, we should be the nation that has the best educational system in the world. And in the meantime, like 30% to 50% of the kids in, like, regular high schools don't know what nation borders the United States to the north and to the south. I think that's more important. And rather than basically being putting money into something or getting involved into affairs that have nothing to do with us, I think that we should basically just stay the fuck out of it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is just crazy. We have right now a whole disarray with the Democrats and the Republicans and this that. Guys, we should, united we stand, divided will fall. Like, we need to take care of the problems that we have in our nation, because this is basically what matters. Let's forget about the bullshit about getting involved with other people. I don't see Germany getting involved anywhere else, right? I don't see France getting involved anywhere else. I don't see England, the Brits, getting involved anywhere else. They have their own problems. They have the Brexit right now issue. So guess what? They're fucking dealing with that shit in house. Meanwhile, we have a whole bunch of problems, a whole bunch of issues in our own nation, and we can solve them. And we want to get fucking involved in someone else's backyard. Listen, I'm not criticizing the president. I'm not criticizing. What I'm criticizing is the actions that we take and the things that we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spend so much money on bullshit. The roads are falling apart here in New Jersey. You know what? Someone is watching this shit. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The roads are falling apart. The bridges are falling apart. The educational system is falling apart. The healthcare system is falling apart. And we want to look into someone else's backyard and fucking tell them what to do? Come on, man. Let's stick to what matters. Let's stick to the issues at hand, and these are issues. Again, I don't give a shit who's the president. Could have been Obama, could be Trump, could be Bush. Let's basically take care of the problems that we have at home, man. It's enough that we cannot get the two parties everywhere else, every other nation, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, they have more than one party. And somehow they try to get along. But we have two fucking parties and we cannot get shit right. Two. whatever happened, shit for the Constitution, for the people, by the people, you know? So what I'm trying to say is, quite frankly, is like, come on, man, like we need to basically get to a point that we need to take care of the problems that we have in the nation. I see some of these videos basically about, people saying that the cops, and there are some bad cops, I got one in front of me right now. I let him go. He's a police officer. What I'm saying is that you see these things that we have this divide in the nation. We shouldn't have this, man. Like we are better than that. Yeah, this nation is about, finding ways to basically commingle and, like respect each other. And things are getting worse. Things are not getting better, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's have some common decency and respect for people. Civil servants, do your fucking job, yo. I don't like to curse, but 800,000 people, and I work in an industry where people got to pay the bills in order to get a service. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're calling and saying, listen, I can't afford it because I don't have the money. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? And we using political bullshit, in one side and the other to get what you want. Meanwhile, in the middle, Americans, really real Americans, people that work for a living, are suffering. I think that's not right, man. Like we need to basically find a happy medium. We need to sit down. We need to stop fucking pointing fingers and say, "Oh, you did this and you did that." Doesn't fucking matter, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to stop being so divided, because at the end of the day, if an invading force comes into the country, what happens is that we all get together and we all fucking kick ass. 9/11. You know what I'm saying? You guys remember what happened after 9/11? We were all united, and that's what the fuck this country is all about. This country is about being unified as a front to be able to, you know what I'm saying, like to fight off any any outside threat. And in this case, the problem is that we have the threat is within the country. The people that should be serving us are fucking up to the point that it's like now it's affecting people, the workers. You know what I'm saying? Like people that get their social security, or it's bullshit. You have people that are right now missing two paychecks. Again, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying that it's the Democrats or it's the Republicans. God, it's both of you guys. It's both parties. We need to fucking sit down, chill the fuck out, and say, hey, listen, this is getting to the point that it's getting out of control. Let's sit down and say, you know what? We need to open the government. We need to make, and then fucking deal with the other bullshit later on. Sit down and talk, but don't hold people hostage. Don't hold, like the people that are working. You know how this shit stops? I'm gonna tell you how this shit stops. This whole shutdown bullshit. If the workers at the airports stop going to work and no one can fucking get through, the government will fucking open. Because the business people will call in, the ones that basically pay these politicians, they will call in and say, hey, yo, we gotta stop this shit already. That's it, enough. And so that's when it will stop. It doesn't matter that the people basically are rising up and demanding that we do something, that we do the right thing. But when business is affected, that's when the shit will stop. And it's bullshit, yo. Like, come on. This is common sense. We have to deal with the issues that we have in our nation. We have to deal with the issues that we have. Let's forget about all the bullshit about, you're Democrat and I'm Republican. One thing that I said always is this. Listen, you have to understand that in our nation, the nation was founded on ideals. And I might not like your opinion about something, but I have to respect it. I don't like my wife's opinion on a lot of shit, but guess what? I have to respect it. I don't like my mother's opinion. I don't like my father's opinion on everything, or my brother, but I respect it. We have a healthy argument or a healthy conversation, and we move on. We don't have to be so polarized to the point that it's like we cannot fucking. There are people that cannot have a conversation at home because one person is so infrascated in their opinion that they cannot listen to the other person. And I think that's fucking crazy. During this election, there were people supposedly getting divorced because they couldn't stay. Like, yo, come on, we gotta stop this fucking craziness. And so let me calm the fuck down right now, because quite frankly, this is bullshit. People, come on. If someone likes Donald Trump and someone likes Obama, listen, it is what it is. But we cannot get to the point that we're gonna be fighting each other over We have a tribal mentality. We look like freaking Neanderthals. We are acting like cavemen, and I think that we are smarter than that. That we have more common sense than that. Like the colleges today, like when I went to school, you basically will have a healthy debate with another person about what their opinion is, and you basically have a debate, and that's it. But you listen. The whole point about going to college is to be able to get ideas and see how other people see the world. You might find something about yourself that you didn't know by just listening to someone else. But today we have this, snowflake fucking mentality that if you're not on my side, then fuck you. No, no, it doesn't work like that. Is you listen to the other side. We have the other side listen to you and talk. You don't need to fucking shout and scream and tell the other person, fuck you, you're fucking this and fucking that and fucking Nazi. Stop the bullshit. Like, I'm just basically talking in general, and I know I'm babbling a little bit, but damn, y'all, like, you look at the news in the morning, and there is not one fucking thing that is like positive. Like, the news cycle is all about keeping people fucking afraid. It's about fear. Like, you know, there was a shootout in Florida. There was this, the kid was left in the fucking bus. You never see anything, uplifting about the good news. The news channels, all they doing is pumping fear into people. So that's the reason why we have so much fucking anxiety in the country. It doesn't take a fucking psychologist to understand that shit. But if you pump someone in a society with fear every fucking day about shit, like, how can you not expect people to be secluded? How can you not expect people to be, you know, like fearful? How can, like, you have people? I think that we have the most people on fucking, like medication, Zoloft, and all the other shit. And it's the news cycle. And one, like one part says that the other thing is doing this, and the other, is doing this. Like, come on, man. Let's get to the point that we can sit down, be fucking adults, and talk about the real issues that we have in the nation. Democrats, listen to the other side. Republicans, listen to the other side. Let's sit down and negotiate something that will be beneficial for everybody. That's what this is all about, man. Like, this is our nation. This is our place. This is where we live. Let's make it a better place. What man or what person can you be if you don't leave the place that you are better than when you came in? Let's fix it. Let's make it better. We spend all this money on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spend all this. Like, let's go ahead and spend the money on our nation. Let's spend the money on the kids. Let's bring the cost of healthcare down. You know what? If it works for a senator, and if it works for the president, and it works for, a congressman, the current system that they have for healthcare, it should be able to work for everybody. So why can't we just bring that system of medicine for everybody? One thing that I have noticed living in this country for a long time, for over 20 years, is that it looks like Americans are the only people, I mean all of us, okay? We are the only people that will vote against our own interests. How is that possible? I'm not saying that the healthcare system that Obama left was perfect, but take a look at Social Security. When Social Security was implemented, it wasn't a perfect system. But what did we do? We fixed it. We tried to make it better, right? So let's try to fix that. You know what I'm saying? Like let's try to take care of that for the change. Education, college. Like I talked about this in one video. How is it that you can go to school for 4 years, graduate with $100,000 in debt, and at the same time not be able to find a fucking job to pay for your school? Tell me, how does that make sense? It doesn't. It fucking doesn't. We are at that point, man, that we are so polarized in our tribal mentality that we're not willing to listen to ideas from the other side, and that's just fucking stupid. The other side might have a great idea, but let's stop putting our interests in the middle, and let's put the interests of everybody in the country. Let's try to this country. We have been, and we are a great nation. But let's take care of our own. Let's take care of our people. Let's take care of the problems that we have. Look at the environment. You know what I'm saying? Like you see shit that is it's crazy, like the storms and this and that, and we are basically saying that there is no changes. Like we are polluting, we're fucking killing the planet. And what you're seeing is that the planet is a living organism, just like us. Within us. We have a planet. We have cells. And the planet is just like us. A planet is a living, breathing entity. And so, if you are putting shit into it, like you think about this, if you didn't go to the bathroom for a month, you wouldn't be able to purge out all the all the vile and all the toxins. You will get sick. You will fucking have to go to the hospital. And so we're pumping all this shit into the planet, and so the planet is reacting. The planet gets sick. It gets cold. It gets hot. It's a living organism, and so we don't see that. We think that, well, no, it's gonna correct itself. It's not. We need to stop thinking about the future of our kids, and we only think about it today. We don't think about the future. How we're gonna fix this? How we're gonna make it better? Anyway, guys, I ramble long enough. I just think, again, I just hope that for the sake of the nation, the Democrats and the Republicans can sit down, stop being bitches. You know what I'm saying? And just say, you know what? Let's go ahead and sit down and take care of the people first. Let's take care of the people. And I have my own opinions about this whole thing. Let's build a wall. Like, okay, I have a question. So we're trying to build this wall for security, for the security of the nation. And we have been talking about building a barrier since 9/11. I have one fucking question for everybody, and correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me, how many of the fucking hijackers from 9/11 came through Mexico? I'm gonna ask the question again. And a lot of people may not like it, and I don't give a fuck. But please tell me how many of the hijackers from 9/11 came through fucking Mexico. What fucking barrier are we talking about? What? We're trying to fucking Mexicans? People that come here to work? The people that come here to do the job that we don't want to do. Please, someone enlighten me. If I'm wrong, please, someone enlighten me. But we're trying to spend $5 billion on some fucking barrier that is not gonna stop shit from happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not. You want to put a barrier, pay people to do the job at the border. The $5 billion that you want to spend, which, by the way, I think it's only a down payment, because the wall to go through the whole Mexico and Baja California is not gonna be $5 billion. It's impossible. A fucking a freaking bridge will cost $5 billion at the way that we spend money. And I'm not saying that this is not the right way to do. Like, we have to protect the country. Yeah, of course. But let's not use, BS to try to get the things that we want. Security. Again, please, someone tell me how many of the hijackers from 9/11 came through the border? Zero, none. They all came legally with visas. So what are we talking about that we need to protect the nation? It's just logic. And on the Democrat side, like, come on, we need to stop all this bullshit. It's both sides. This whole thing about, oh, we're gonna build this, we're gonna build a wall. Look what happened to China. China built the fucking wall, and now it's just a relic that people go to fucking see. I'm sure that they have the same mentality. It was the same idea to keep intruders from coming in. Did it work? As the Chinese? I don't think it did. Because the wall is there, but it doesn't do anything. It's just a relic. It's a piece of, it's a monument now. And so we're gonna do the same thing. All I'm saying is that, guys, come on. The money that we're gonna spend building these things and spending on going to another countries and getting involved in shit that we shouldn't have to get involved with, let's spend that money here in our nation, in this beautiful nation that we all lived, in this beautiful place that we all call home, that we love, that we enjoy. So anyway, this is Mix coming at you from New Jersey. NJ Morning Drive, guys. I hope you have a great day. Please be safe out there. It's raining really hard. Another thing, yo, this weather is freaking nuts. 2 days ago was -1, -3 or whatever. Today's freaking 60 degrees and raining. It's crazy. And we're in the middle of winter. But we said that, there is no problem with the environment. Anyway, guys, I love you all. It's just my opinion. Comment below. Tell me what you think. I hope you all have a great day. Um, Please, guys, let's sit down and listen to the other side. Just because someone has a different opinion than yours doesn't mean that they're wrong. And if you think that you are never wrong and that you're always right, you're probably always wrong. You understand what I'm saying? If you think that you're always right, more than likely you're always wrong. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I love you all. Drive safely and tell me what you think. Have a great day. Peace.